Happy Thursday. Welcome to Cooking with PC. My name is Melanie. I'm here to host the show. And on top of that, I'm a huge cooking enthusiast. That's also a big bonus. And this is my guest.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cooking Demo with Positive Choice here at our demo kitchen. I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on top of that, what's also super exciting too is we're going to be making a recipe, which is...
Basically, it's farro is our superstar ingredient, and we're putting together a salad with tahini and chickpeas, aka garbanzo beans.
Yes. So super exciting for us today. We're really excited. I love this recipe. It's super tasty. So, anyways, so what we want to let you know that we've already done, just so you understand that there are certain sanitary measures in place, is we definitely washed our hands before we did anything here, and all of our produce has been washed. If you haven't done this in the past, and this is your first time watching, and if it's not your first time watching, something that can help you is, I learned this from a cooking show host that says, mise en place. Everything has its place. Make sure you have everything ready before you get started, because if you don't, you're going to be scrambling while we're moving along.
Exactly.
But anyways, let's get started.
Yeah, I wanted to, first of all, talk a little bit about farro. Farro is our, like I mentioned, our superstar ingredient, and I hope everybody prepped their farro either last night or I did mine early this morning, but I love farro. It's an ancient grain that's really high in fiber, high in protein, and has lots of antioxidants.
Yeah. Is farro wheat-based? Is it a wheat grain?
It is a wheat grain, so for those of you who are gluten sensitive or allergic, yeah, I just want to mention that it does have gluten in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you do have that sensitivity, an optional substitute to like quinoa, anything that pretty much isn't like amaranth, another one, and it isn't wheat-based would be ideal.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you that we prepped our farro. So here we are.
Oh, you can see it.
I actually I used 3 cups, and I actually soaked it overnight, and so I just placed it in
You didn't
water.
cook that at all?
It is cooked.
Okay.
But just,
wow, that's impressive.
just the preparation of it. I soaked it overnight. You can also just cook it right away. But I feel like when you soak it, it actually lessens your cook time. So, and it's a little softer. And the way that you cook it, it's very similar to cooking pasta. Once I've soaked it, I drained it and placed it in the pot with water. Make sure the water's covering it, and let it boil for about 20 minutes. And feel free to look at the package that it comes with. It also has instructions on there.
Yeah,
so,
I know a few people found some at Trader Joe's, and the instructions
it's
on
already
that,
cooked?
it's like parboiled. So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
little different than what we probably would have done. So.
Yeah.
But there we go, our magically prepared farro.
And I believe one of our friends posted fun facts about farro as well on one of our comments.
Fun fact, there's no W after it because that's a litter of pigs. That's what it was. We learned about litter of pigs. I had no idea a litter of pigs is called a farro. So there we go. That's not what this is.
So we'll put that aside. Next I want to prepare the garbanzo beans or the chickpeas. You can easily just pick up a can from your favorite grocery store, and yeah, so we have this already ready to go. I'm just gonna pour out the water and drain it.
And it's interesting because I did another recipe last week with Catherine. If you saw that one, we had chickpeas as well. And what's interesting about the chickpeas is, and I mentioned it, is aquafaba. So you're familiar with aquafaba? Because I feel like I'm teaching everybody about aquafaba.
I like it.
Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Okay.
What is aquafaba?
So I'll tell you all again if you didn't watch our last week's video. So the juice from the chickpea, ideally not low sodium. Ideally you want to have sodium free if you can get it, because the saltier the weirder.
Yeah.
But you whip it with a hand mixer and it turns into a mousse.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can actually make desserts with the juice from your chickpeas. It's a multifaceted recipe. Dinner and dessert.
Yes. And again, high in protein, high in fiber. So yeah, I'll set this aside and let it drain some more. We're gonna put together the seasonings for it. So it calls for 15-ounce can of chickpeas. a tablespoon of avocado oil, which we have here.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I'll put that on the chickpeas next. I actually like to mix together just dry ingredients first, and so I can just toss it easily. So
is there like a reason why you would do the dry ingredients first?
just so everything's just evenly mixed, and so it coats it. Yeah.
You don't want one spot that's saltier than another.
Yeah, or spicy, or so it does call for smoked paprika, garlic. We have garlic powder. We have cayenne. Cayenne is optional, just in case it's a little spicy.
Love it.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and put that in. So I'll start with the smoked paprika.
And smoked paprika is awesome because it adds a smoky flavor and there's no barbecuing required.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it. I use it in almost everything that I need paprika for. I'm like, smoked paprika goes with this today.
I'll just go ahead and put this here.
And Marcia says hi.
Hi, Marcia.
Hi, Marcia. We're looking off screen because there's a big TV with everything on it so we can see what you're saying.
Hi. How was your week, by the way?
My week's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not my Friday. Tomorrow's my Friday, as it would be for most people. But yeah, it's been good. Pretty low-key week. I'm enjoying it. How about yours?
It's been flying by. I can't believe we're already mid-June.
Oh, I know. It's 3 months, man. It's been crazy. I went on a big trip to Spain and I came back and I feel like that was a week ago, but it was 3 months ago.
Oh my gosh. So glad that you made it just in time. We were all worried about you.
I'm good. I am good. I'm here. I'm safe. We got to see a country. It was awesome. And lots of smoked paprika. It's Spanish. It's a thing. Paprika is very Spanish.
It calls for a freshly cracked pepper.
I love freshly cracked.
Smells so good. And I have to tell you, I know we're going to be doing movie magic here, but when I was prepping, the aroma of baking, the garbanzo beans and the spices, just so good. It just has that warmth and yumminess.
Yeah.
So yeah, you eat with all your senses, right? How it looks, how it smells, how it tastes, the texture of it. So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and coat the garbanzo beans. Okay.
So you're doing it in the strainer to strain off the extra oil?
Yeah, and then the water as well. So I'll just do a little toss there, just so it's all coated.
I love this. I get to see everyone's different cooking techniques. It's so different. I love it because I would not have done that. I would be like, more grease. That's just me.
So that's all set, and then if you can.
There's a tiny whisk. I'm all about this. All about it. Thoroughly make this.
Teeny utensils.
All right. Okay, we got our seasonings.
Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and.
I'm gonna pour it on there first. You want to put it in the pan?
I'm gonna put it in the pan,
Okay.
and then from there we can just like lightly coat it. So.
And this is a non-stick pan. If you don't have a non-stick pan, spray it down with oil or put something on it so it doesn't stick.
All right, so here we go.
Just shake it up, shake it up. And it seems like a lot of seasonings, by the way, if you're adding these seasonings, but actually, because you have to coat all sides of the chickpea.
So, let's make sure that that's all mixed in. And then once you put it in the oven, go ahead and check through it, and I'll give it a little shake too, so it's it can flip. So, all right, we'll place this in our oven.
Our oven. I'll be back.
How is everybody doing? I'm doing that first because it takes about 20 minutes in the oven.
It's totally in the oven right now.
Yeah, place it about 425 degrees, depending on how your stove is or your oven is. And then from time to time, check on it. So 20 minutes, and then if you want it a little toastier, leave it in for another 10 to 15. All right. So next, let's go ahead and put together the salad. So if you please, we can go ahead and start with the 3 cups of
Our delicious farro.
Yeah.
That still smells like the seasonings, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's a lingering smell. I love it.
So we'll put that there. Let's go ahead and put together the the dressing. So the dressing we have, I'm gonna use this little guy. So we'll set that aside.
We need the tiny whisk.
Sure, yeah. It's another superstar.
I am 6 feet tall, and this is good. That's what I got today.
What, you were saying we usually have a big one.
So we used to have a whisk in here that was like, I'm not kidding, this long and massive. And I was like, what are you going to use with this whisk? And now I have this extremely tiny one. And
There's like different sizes of them.
There are, but I've never seen one that small.
It's perfect for the dressing.
Perfect for me.
The dressing calls for a 1/3 cup of tahini. Would you like to let our audience know what tahini is all about?
Not to be mixed up with tahine, which is a seasoning spice that you can use. Tahini is
or cooking pot. Tagine.
Or tagine, which is spelled like tahine, but different culture. But this is tahini with an H, not a J, and it is sesame paste. So it's like if you made peanut butter with sesame seeds. And we wanted to do some artistic liberties today, so we got a toasted sesame seed paste. Although it doesn't call for that, we decided to have a little smokiness from it.
Yeah, so we'll just place that in there.
Right.
Okay.
A little spatula, scoop it
Yeah,
in.
there you go. And then...
And if you have tahini and you've had it sitting around for a while, it may settle. And if it settles, stir it and flip it upside down in your fridge. Tiny whisk. Stir it with a tiny whisk.
So tahini and our 1/3 cup of water. We'll put that there. A lemon juice. We'll go ahead and cut that up.
Okay.
So
Move some of these out of your way. So
thank
you got some
you.
space. I'm a little crowded over here.
Thank you. So so 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I'll just go ahead and squeeze that in. Catch the seeds.
Hand strainer.
Oh, we have a strainer here. I should have just used that.
That's okay. Hand strainers work. When I discovered that you can separate eggs by holding the egg yolk in your hand, it changed my life.
Oh my gosh.
Hand strainers are the best strainers.
Do this one. I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of using lemon zest whenever it calls for lemon juice. It just adds that extra flavor, especially for my salads. So yeah, I'll throw that in there. Okay. Alright. And then what's next? We need 2 cloves of garlic mince.
Right there.
So we already got that going.
Pre-chopped.
Yeah, pre-chopped, so we can let as far as like the properties breathe and mix in. So we have that.
You want to let garlic expose itself to oxygen and get more benefit from it that way for at least 15 minutes, if you can.
Do we have the cumin over there?
We do. I keep forgetting to say this little
Oh, it looks like pepper.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting this is the cumin.
So a little goes a long way.
And
So
cumin also adds like a smoky flavor too. It's a very smoky dish.
Yeah, cayenne pepper.
That come in.
Okay,
And if you don't like heat, don't add it.
Yeah. Do you like heat?
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
We went to a Thai restaurant. This is a scale of 1 to 10. How spicy do you want it? And I was like, well, I like jalapenos. What's that? And he said, it's like a 6 or a 7.
Oh my gosh.
And in my better judgment, I was like, let's go for a 5. I was dying. This is a spicy scale, I swear.
And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So
That's going to be fun measuring.
Well, we'll do maybe a few turns, and then later on, once we have everything together, you can always add in.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually go for less salt, and then add things at the end. So a little sprinkle. So where's our little mixer?
The tiny whisk. I can do the tiny whisk. I'll do it.
Here we go.
And the garlic in there. It's wonderful. Okay.
Oh,
Look
it
at that.
already smells so good.
And it's thickening up, so it's kind of made this creamy little like paste in a sense. It doesn't look like it did 5 seconds ago. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it smells so good.
It smells delicious.
Okay.
So we have that going on. Just share with you the dressing, how we made it. Each serving size is 2 tablespoons, which accounts for 63 calories. The carb content is 2.5 grams. Protein is 2 grams. Fat, because of the tahini, is 5.5, and 1 gram of fiber in that dressing.
The dressing.
Yeah, the chickpeas in itself, it's baking, right? The serving size of chickpeas is 2 tablespoons, which is 66 calories, and then 12 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and 2.5 grams of fiber. This is a really high fiber meal, so I love it. And then for the salad in itself, we'll make that next. The salad, the finished salad, serving size is of 3/4 of a cup. The calories total is 250. Carbohydrates is 19.5. Farro is very high in carbs, so serving size, we need to make sure that we're careful on. Unless you just worked out and you need replenish.
Carbs is so villainized. Like, they're not bad if you do it right. It's don't eat donuts. That's what we're saying. Like, this is fine.
Right. It's a whole week.
You can eat donuts. Just eat them in moderation. I'm just kidding. I'm just being snippy.
But with the protein, it's 9.5 grams of protein, which is pretty high. That is 7.5, and then fiber, again, is pretty high at 6 grams. So I love it. I'm going to put this in the fridge and let it chill while we put together
the fridge.
That's
Can I start chopping something?
Yes, let's go ahead and you love cucumbers.
I love cucumbers. I was making a point to let her know how much I love cucumbers before we started. Okay, so let's get those cucumbers all chopped up then, huh? I want to make sure I know how much I'm chopping. So for the cucumber, cool, we'll do a whole one.
Yeah. So the more veggies, the better.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, you can add in more greens in there. Deva actually mentioned, shout out to Deva. Hi, if you're watching us. Maybe add in some baby kale with the dish, or whatever other greens you would like. So
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to peel parts of this. We want to have some stripes in it, so it looks kind of pretty.
Yeah.
And that way, it's not totally peeled. Still get that fiber from the skin. I personally, I will be honest with you, I actually legitimately hate peeling things. So I buy the cucumbers that you don't have to peel.
Just eat.
I get English or Persian cucumbers because you don't have to peel those. So like, cool, chop, 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 no peeling involved. Awesome. Low maintenance cook. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it in half, and I have it all stripey. It's all pretty.
It is pretty.
And then after I've cut it in half, I'm gonna cut it in half again. And we want them to probably be a little bit more bite-sized, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Might as well cut this guy in half too. I'm pretty fast at chopping because I do chop cucumbers on a fairly regular basis. So I'm cutting it into 4 strips, long ways. So that would be my recommendation for you if you want smaller pieces, or just leave it in half and you can have little bigger chunks here. A little bigger. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. Okay, and then you seesaw it and rock it back and forth with the knife, and you're gonna get yourself some nice pieces. Bam.
I love that technique.
Little nub. Alright, clean off the knife, do that again. And chop, chop, chop. And I will be honest with you guys, if you had ever watched me chopping in the past, you would be like, wow, where did you learn? I didn't. I winged it. And apparently my winging it wasn't good.
It's all about the wrist,
All
right?
about the wrist. You watch enough cooking shows, you start to figure it out over time, and it's all in the wrist. Okay? And you get faster at it the more you practice. So it may seem fast for some of you at home, and that's just because I love cucumbers. I cut a lot of them all the time. I probably eat at least a whole cucumber a week. So
somebody gifted me one of those like choppers and spiralizers. I use it from time to time because it is easy, but I just don't want to clean it up afterwards.
Yeah.
So just chop it in a good old-fashioned way. So
Okay. Bring that bowl over and I'll pour it in there.
There we go.
Now, is there a reason why we're not pouring the sauce on there right now?
We can. I was gonna do it right after, but I think we should.
Well, I would think that the farro would probably absorb all the sauce. It wouldn't coat anything, huh?
Right? Yeah. So
beautiful cucumbers.
Cucumbers. Next is tomatoes.
Alright. I'll give you the tomato chopping job. That's a hard job. I like the easy job.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take off this stem part. Yeah, there's method to the madness.
Persian cucumbers, May. Yes, May says Persian cucumbers, and those are the best cucumbers
Oh
in
my
my opinion.
gosh, I can eat those by by the dozen with a little bit of, what do you eat it just by itself?
I use it in all sorts of stuff. So I make shawarma a lot, which I'll put cucumbers in shawarma. I put it in salads a lot. I have a salad I make with beets and lentils. I'll throw cucumber in that. I also make my own, spacing on the name now, gyro dressing. Tzatziki. My gosh, I say that all the time, and I just space on what's called tzatziki. So I chop them up much smaller. Usually I should use a grater, and I'll squeeze out the liquid and throw it in there, and that's how I use it for tzatziki.
Yeah.
Goes in everything. I absolutely love cucumbers.
Do you put it in your water with some lemon?
Now that's where I draw the line.
Oh, okay.
So I will share with you why.
Okay.
When I put fruit or things in my water, it tastes like a watered down version of it, and I would rather eat it than drink it. I prefer either eat the fruit, drink the water. I don't like lemon's fine, but cucumber. I don't want to put a cucumber. It does, but I'd rather eat it. I guess I like cucumbers.
So we have our tomatoes in there, and then the parsley.
This is a big bunch of parsley.
Yeah. Do you have a special way that you, or do you just rip it off?
I usually keep it fully attached because I'll reuse it for other stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of pick the chunk I want, pull the whole thing out of there, and bunch it up real tight, and that's about it.
Okay, and then you just chop it up.
So kind of fold, like, I'll show you.
Here you go.
You just kind of fold it on itself to get it really smushed together. That way when you're chopping it gets really small.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do that. So,
And you can just rock through it real fast, and bam, you're done in half the time. Perfect. Alright, Lisa. Yes! So my favorite dressing and homemade pickle recipe. Yes, I talk about cucumbers a lot in my classes too, and so to give you context, my family is extremely Russian, and so we have dziadza, which means uncle, and totya, which means aunt. So we call them dziadza and totya. So my dziadza Andy decided to bring pickles to my engagement shower a few years ago, and then all of my relatives were like, oh, these are the best! And so we had to make them, so I got the recipe handwritten, took a picture of it, brought it home, made it, and I had to tell everybody about it right after.
nice. Oh, that's very creative.
Yeah, it's delicious, and it only takes, like in reality, it only takes a couple minutes to make it. It's like an hour or two for it to settle in, but it's good stuff.
Alright, I'll put this in there.
That bowl nearby. No messes allowed.
Alright, so I think we got everything.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we have salads on there. Let's go ahead and add in the dressing.
So I'm just going to preemptively stir it a little bit too.
Go ahead.
The oven alarm is going off.
Oh, the oven alarm.
Beep.
Beep, beep.
Oh man. Let me go get those chickpeas. Oh wow, they're not even hot. That's crazy. How did that happen?
So.
Yeah, when you put it in the fridge, it thickens it up, so it's a lot thicker than it was earlier.
And then, we'll just use this little guy, and then we'll mix it up.
Perfect. It's so colorful.
It is colorful. Oh, it smells so delicious. So the chickpeas, do you want to put that in as a garnish, or should we mix some in and then save a little handful for it?
That's a great question. I usually just mix them all in together,
Oh,
just
okay.
because I personally want to crunch in every bite rather than a garnish, but
Yeah.
I know over time it'll sog, so we're going to save this in the fridge, probably just sprinkle it on periodically when you eat it. But if you're serving it for a potluck or something, someday, whenever that happens again, but if we ever do go back to that, mix it in all at once so everyone gets a little crunch with each bite. You don't have to worry about sprinkling it per person.
Yeah. All right.
Thoroughly mixed.
Thoroughly mixed. I would, just for preference, I would add in more greens in there. The more greens, the better. Especially because it's already mixed in, so.
Another thing I love is onions, and there are definitely onions in this dish.
Red onions! Oh my gosh!
any onion anyway. It
Yes.
doesn't really matter. Like, if we just get it, I'm happy, so whatever.
Smell these chickpeas. Seriously.
It smells so
Yeah,
good. It smells like garlic or
good.
smoky. They're tasty smelling. Oh my gosh, those are delicious.
I'm just gonna go ahead and drizzle that on there.
It's looking so pretty.
Yeah.
You can see the beautifulness of this bowl here. Love it. Awesome.
All right. Do you wanna taste? Shall we grab
I'll go get some
plates,
bowls.
some bowls? What's great about this is you could always put the farro aside and mix it in with another dish. It's a really great way of meal prepping and just having everything handy. You have some leftover dressing on there. I love making dressing any which way.
Homemade dressing's way better.
Oh my gosh!
It's
yeah.
always better than store-bought. I've never had a homemade dressing I didn't like.
Right.
I've had store-bought I didn't like, but I
It's
definitely
so
haven't had
simple.
homemade.
All right, my friend.
Yay.
All right.
This is the best show. I get to eat. This is so fun.
We get to meal prep and yeah. So, bon appetit.
Okay.
Let me know, yeah, to your preference if you need some more spice or you need some more salt.
I mean, I would really kick it up with way more cayenne, but that's just me. I want to be sweating while I eat.
You can even make this into like a wrap, right?
Oh, yeah.
Into a wrap or
Yeah, if you get like a whole wheat wrap and put that in there, that would be
so
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
I've been doing,
Awesome.
so speaking of cucumbers, I've been doing cucumber chips because that crunch.
Oh,
So
okay.
eating it with guacamole or
I do that all the time.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I do it all the time. All right. So I have a couple minutes left, everybody. So just want to ask if you have any questions. Feel free to put them in the comment. I'm sorry, I'm still chewing. It's good. But anyways, if you have any questions, please add them now. We'll be done in a couple minutes here, so we're happy to answer anything you have about what we did, processes that we did, alternatives to things in this recipe. You can, and what I always love to share, because I think people forget this, because people think that when you have a recipe, it has to be done exactly the way it is.
Oh no, spruce it up the way you like it.
Like cooking is so not baking.
would
Baking, don't ever deviate. Cooking, use whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's
Be an
amazing.
artist, right? Bring your inner cooking artist.
Okay. The recipe for
The dressing and the pickles.
so I don't know what
pickles.
That Lisa.
I can give you the recipe for the pickles. I'll post that in the Healthy Balance group later. I'm trying to remember what dressing you're talking about, Lisa. If it's my mayonnaise? Answer me that. I don't remember the dressing because I'm trying to. I make a lot of things and it's like muddled up in whatever I make because I can't remember now. It happens to the rest of us. But I will post the cucumber recipe into the Healthy Balance group, and you have Jezza Andy's pickles.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I
Sounds so
promise.
good.
They're so good, and they don't have vinegar in them,
Oh.
so it's a little different. Yes, Meg. She improvises while baking too. That's the way you do it. You gotta. And sometimes you don't have all the things you need to make a thing. You have
You
to
make
wing it.
do. That's my favorite thing to do is just look into my cupboards and see what I have and just put something together.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm waiting for more comments, but it is 6 o'clock. So if any of you have anything, you're welcome
Thank you for joining
to.
us. This is such a treat.
Yeah.
We're getting paid for this. This is our job.
You're gonna get to eat and go home with meal prep. Woohoo! But tune in next week. We're gonna have Sophie on next week. We're gonna make another recipe for you. We'll post the recipe on Facebook on Monday. But in the meantime, stay healthy, stay happy. And there is a comment that I didn't see, so I'm gonna answer
It
that.
just came in.
And then I will say goodbye. So Gracie, is this considered a complete meal for a vegetarian diet? You didn't have a couple items. I don't try farro. Farro and barley are cousins, but they're not the same. So they're a little different from each other, but they're still wheat-based. And then as far as Mediterranean, I mean, every ingredient we used was Mediterranean, so I would assume so. I'm not super familiar with all the facets of a Mediterranean diet, but all the ingredients are Mediterranean by default, so that would probably be okay. And as far as complete, well, we have a grain, we have a bean, and we have veggies, so there is complete protein. Now, I won't say that it's a good source of protein, because the total I think we calculated out was, it's not too bad. It's about,
there.
yeah, it's about 14 grams. So it's not too bad. So you could, I guess, technically eat this on your own.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to have a protein per se with it because there's plenty in there. So, yeah, that's a good question. Okay, I had to do math.